what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Fayy Lenee, back with another video. And for today's video, I'm giving you guys my what's in my everyday makeup stash. So if you have been following my channel since the beginning of the year, you guys know that I have been doing a everyday makeup stash video every single month. And if you are new to my channel and you're not familiar with these types of videos, basically what they are is I essentially shop my makeup stash and I pull out products that I want to try, or products that are old that I want to use up, or just products that have been in my collection for a while that I kind of forgot about. I pull all of those products out and I have a little drawer right here. This little drawer situation that I actually got from Marshall's. I put all of the products in that drawer, and those are the products that I try to focus on using every single time that I do my makeup for that particular month. So when I first started the series, I wasn't completely sure what to expect, but honestly, even outside of filming these videos, I have really enjoyed doing this series because it's helped me to really go through my makeup collection, pull out products, focus on using those particular products, and I've been able to really get through a ton of products in my collection and actually use stuff up, which has been so satisfying. And you guys seem to have been enjoying the series as well, so today I am back with another one, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys the products that I've pulled out for the month of March. So before we get into the video, if you are new to my channel, hey girl, hey! Thank you for stopping by for today's video. I really hope that you enjoy it. I would love to have you as part of my fam here on YouTube. So before you leave, definitely make sure that you click on the subscribe button down below to join my fam, and if you enjoy this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you have not already, be sure to turn on your post notifications so that you get notified each and every time that I post a video, because we all know YouTube likes to play you when they get ready. So be sure that you have your notifications turned on so that you'll know whenever I post. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my everyday makeup stash. Alright guys, so like I said, all of the products that I use or have in my everyday makeup stash, I have in this little drawer situation right here. So I'm just gonna pull the drawers out and show you guys what I have in each of the drawers. So first up, I have my primers, and the very first product that I have is the e.l.f. Oil Control Primer Mist, which looks like this. I actually received this in PR a while ago, and I have so many setting sprays, you guys. Like, I have so many setting sprays, and I have not really used this one at all since I got it. So I was going through my collection, going through like products that kind of got lost in the sauce, and I happened to come across this one. So I have been using this setting spray as my first spray that I spray all over my face before I go in with any other products. And yeah, just using this as my primer. And then to set my face, I have the Boscia White Charcoal Mattifying Makeup Setting Spray, which looks like this. And as you can see, I am almost done with this. So I will be so happy to finish another setting spray. But I've already been using this. I went ahead and switched out all of my products at the beginning of March, even though I'm just now getting this video out to you guys. I have been using these products at the beginning, like since the beginning of the month. I always start at the beginning of every month. So I have already been using this, and as you can see, I've gotten it down to here so far, and hopefully by the end of the month it will be completely used up and I can move on to something else. And then for primers, I know I have had this in my everyday makeup stash literally for like the last probably 2 months. It's the Benefit the Professional Matte Rescue, but I honestly think this time, you guys, I'm going to use it up, because I've gotten to the point now that I have to squeeze it like this every time before I use it, and then actually turn the bottle like this and squeeze it out every time that I use it. So I think I'm actually legit down to the last little bit. So hopefully by the end of this month, this will be completely used up and you guys won't see it anymore, but I am on a mission to finish this. So it's in my stash again this month. And then I also pulled out my Too Faced Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer, which looks like this. This is basically a mattifying primer, but it's not over drying. And I haven't really used this for, I mean, several months. I haven't used this in a really long time. So I've been using this as my mattifying face primer. And then I also pulled out my Professional, just the original Professional, which is for smoothing out your pores. And this used to be like everybody's holy grail back in the day, and then I don't really know what happened, but I don't really see a lot of people talk about it or use it. Honestly, like, there's just so many other new products that come out. I know things can get pushed to the back of your stash, just like this did for me. But I remember when this used to be like everything, like everybody used to use this primer. So I pulled it out, and hopefully this will be another one that I'll be able to get through, because as you can see, I'm pretty much squeezing out the last little bit. Okay, so next up I have my face products, my foundations, and my concealers. And the first product that I have is a drugstore product. This is the CoverGirl Full Spectrum Matte Ambition All Day Shine Free Foundation. I have two shades. I have the shade 310 Tan Golden and 305 Tan Neutral. 310 matches me, but it's just like ever so slightly too dark. Like you could barely really tell, but I can tell it's just a little bit too dark. So I went ahead and pulled out 305 just to mix in and hopefully give me a better match for my complexion. I do really like this foundation. It's a medium to buildable, somewhat full coverage, but it is a matte foundation and it goes on really nicely on the skin. So I'm going to be showing these a little bit more love. Also, I pulled out my Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. Since I did pull out the primer, I went ahead and pulled out the foundation as well. I have mine in the shade Butterscotch. This shade is also, again, ever so slightly too dark for me. So I also pulled out my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation in the shade Fresh Beige, which is way too light for me. But just a little bit of this mixed in with this gives me my perfect shade. And these are both matte foundations, so it doesn't really change the texture or the formula. Like they don't change the formula of each other when I mix them together. So I pulled the two of these out. And then last but not least, the foundation that I have on my face today is the NARS Natural Radiant Long Wear Foundation. This is such a popular foundation, and honestly, I bought it, I wore it a couple times, and then I completely forgot about it. And I see so many people on YouTube continuing to rave about this, continuing to use it on a regular basis, and I just honestly forgot about it. I have so many foundations, like literally a drawer full. It's ridiculous. Probably easily over 50 foundations. I know. But yes, I just forgot about this. So I decided to go ahead and pull it out. Like I said, I have it on my face today and it looks bomb. Okay, it looks flawless. I can see why people rave about it. And then for concealers, the first two that I have are the Fenty Beauty concealers. I haven't really been using these too much because I have been using my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealers like crazy. So I decided to put those to the side, and also my Too Faced Sculpting concealers. You guys know I'm obsessed with those. So I'm trying my hardest not to use my Too Faced concealers and give these a little bit more love this month. So I went ahead and pulled these out and put them in my drawer. Also, I pulled out my Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage concealers. Oh, and also too, for the Fenty concealers, I have the shades 360, which is my skin tone shade, and 330, which is my highlight shade. And then for the Urban Decay concealers, I have Medium Dark Warm, which is not quite my skin tone shade, but it's not light enough to highlight. And then I have Medium Neutral, which is my highlight shade. So I went ahead and pulled these out. These give you such like a smooth, flawless under eye when it blends out, and I just haven't really used these very much. I used to use these literally every single day, every single video. These used to be my holy grail, and I haven't really used them as much, so I went ahead and pulled these out. And then last but not least, I pulled out the L'Oreal Full Wear More Than Concealer, and I picked mine up in the shade Amber. This is shade number 385 Amber. This is a new product. It just launched this year, but I wanted to throw in at least one other newer product to kind of try out and get a little bit more of an idea of how I feel about it, because I did review this concealer and the foundation, but I did like a first impressions. So I wanted to try this out a little bit more so I can get a more well-rounded idea about how I feel about the concealer, and I can give you guys an update. So I went ahead and threw this in my stash for the month. So next up, before I forget, I did pull out some eyeshadows. I had one of you guys mention in my comments last month that I forgot to mention eyeshadows. I didn't actually forget. I just don't use eyeshadows on a regular basis. Like on my everyday makeup, I don't really do eyeshadow. I just do a very clean base on my eyelid and just do mascara and maybe lashes. But this month, since that person did mention it in my comments, I decided to pull out some eyeshadows, and I actually got this palette within the last couple of weeks, which kind of made me want to pull it out and kind of give it some more love. So this is a Morphe Large Magnetic Eyeshadow Palette. It came just the palette, no eyeshadows, and I actually took all of my Makeup Geek, ColourPop, and random single eyeshadows that I just had around my makeup collection and put them in this palette. I would say probably 90% of these shadows are Makeup Geek and ColourPop, And there's probably just a handful, like maybe 5 or 6 that are just kind of random that I just threw in here. But I wanted to kind of give it a nice balanced color story. So I went ahead and threw all of these shadows in here, and I did use them to create my eye look today. All of the shadows on my eye today are from Makeup Geek, and this shimmer is Grandstand, which, can we just talk about how gorgeous that shadow is? It is this shade right here. It's like a metallic, I don't know if it would be considered metallic or foiled, that's the word. It's a foiled eyeshadow. It is beautiful. But yes, I did use this palette to create my eye look today. Let me know if you guys would like to see more looks with this palette. And like I said, it is a mix of all affordable single eyeshadows. And this palette from Morphe I think was like $10. So super affordable situation, has all my eyeshadows in one place, and I can just reach for this as like an everyday go-to for eyeshadows. Okay, so next up I want to move on to like face powders, blushes, all of that kind of stuff. And honestly, I feel like these two drawers are like the drawers that make me the most excited. Look at this drawer. Like, is this not just so aesthetically pleasing? It just looks beautiful. So in this drawer I have all of my face powders, setting powders, bronzers, all of that kind of stuff. So first up I have the Full Spectrum by CoverGirl Matte Ambition All Day Powder Foundation. I think I mentioned this in my favorites. I have been loving this powder, like literally. It was not in my everyday makeup stash last month, but ever since I got it in PR, I've been using it like crazy. It is so good, and it is an affordable product. So I actually have 4 of these powders in here. I have 2 that are close to my skin tone shade. One is a little bit dark, but I just threw both of them in here. I also have one that is a lighter shade that I can use to set like my concealer areas, and then I have 2 darker shades that I can use to bronze and contour. So I just went ahead and threw all those powders in there because I have been loving them, and so now I just have them in one place and I can use them whenever I want to. And then I also threw in my Makeup Revolution Bake and Blot Setting Powder. I know for sure I mentioned this in my favorites because I have been loving it. It is another new product that recently launched, and ever since I picked it up, I have been obsessed with it. I like to use this to set my concealed areas, especially if I'm running late for work. This is super convenient. I can just pull this out. I don't have to deal with like a loose setting powder. I can just set my face really quickly and go. So I have been loving using this. And then for loose setting powders, I have the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop setting powder in the shade Medium. I have been using this on days that I want to set my primer before I apply my foundation. I normally use my Cover FX matte setting powder for that, but I did recently run out of it. So I decided to pull this out and see how I like it, and hopefully, you know, have another powder that I can use and not have to continuously purchase the Cover FX one because it is a little bit more on the pricey side. And then to bake my face, I have my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. I have mine in the shade Blondie. And I decided to throw this in here because this is another product. It's not new, but it is new to me. I picked it up, I think, in January or maybe February. And ever since I picked it up, I have been using it non-stop. This powder is so good. I would honestly put this up there with like the Laura Mercier's and like the Beauty Bakery and those powders that everybody knows and loves. Sacha Buttercup. This is up there with those powders. This is the only setting powder I have been using for at least the past month, and I'm going to continue using into March because I have just been loving it that much. So just went ahead and threw it in here because I knew I would be reaching for it, so I just went ahead and threw it in there. And then for bronzer, I have the Kylie bronzer. I purchased this recently also. I think that, I don't remember, did she launch this year? Yeah, I think she launched these this year. And so I went ahead and purchased it. I got the shade Tanned and Gorgeous, which looks like this. Which, I mean, that's a pretty dark bronzer. And I do have it on my face today. So shout out to Kylie for actually having a decent range of bronzers for the girls. But yes, I went ahead and picked this up. Decided to throw it in my stash to try it out. So far, I have really been liking it. It applies to the face very nicely, nice and smooth. And of course, I love the packaging. It's like simple, but so chic. And then for blushes, I decided to keep it simple. I just threw in my 2 MAC blush palettes. These are palettes that were custom created by me. I took all of my MAC compacts, I depotted them, and I put them into this, which helped me to get more empty containers to take for back to MAC. But also, it takes up way less space now in my collection because everything is consolidated into these palettes. So this one has all of my shimmery blushes. This one has all of my matte blushes. I have one more space in the shimmer palette, so if you have any suggestions for shimmery blushes, please let me know so that I can fill this space. But yes, I just went ahead and threw these in here because I feel like I've gotten more into blush over the past couple of months, and there are so many blushes that I've recently purchased and have been gravitating towards, and I just forgot about my OG MAC blushes. So I just went ahead and pulled those out. And then for highlight, I have two highlighters. So the first one is the MAC times Patrick Star. This was actually part of the holiday collection, but I purchased this recently. I did an Ulta haul like a couple of weeks back. It may have been about a month now back, but I purchased this in that Ulta haul, and that was like after the holidays. So I will look and see if I can find this highlighter for you guys. If so, I will link it for you down below. But first of all, this pan is almost as big as my freaking face, which I'm here for an abundance of products. Give me my money's worth, please and thank you. But I do also have this highlighter on the face. And honestly, I love this highlight. It just applies like butter to the skin. It's not chunky. It literally has almost no kick up when you rub your, like I really swirl my brush in here. I have it on my inner corner as well. And there's like almost no kick up whenever you put your brush in there, but it just applies to the skin like butter. So I went ahead and threw this in there so I can remember to give it some more love. And then last but not least, I have the Dose of Colors times Desi X Katie highlighter in the shade Mita May, and this was one of the highlighters that came out with their original launch. So I'm not sure if this, actually when they did the second launch, I don't think they brought this one back. They came out with a new one, and then they came out, or they brought back Fuego. I don't think they brought this one back, but this is a beautiful like champagne rose gold highlight. This is what it looks like right there. Just gorgeous. And I feel like this is another one that I just don't really remember to reach for, just because I have so many highlighters. And I also keep this one in my like spinning tower, which sits over here. So when I'm facing this way looking in my mirror doing my makeup, I don't always remember to turn around and pull products from my spinning tower that I have over here. So I decided to go ahead and pull that one out. And then also, since I'm swatching things, let me show you guys a swatch of the Patrick Star one. Beautiful. It almost looks like pretty much my skin tone, but the Patrick Star one is very brown girl friendly. It's like a more bronzy, like a bronze rose gold, which I am here for. So yes. So last but not least, I have my miscellaneous drawer, and this usually has my mascaras and my lip products for the month. So I'll start off with mascara. The first one that I have is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is like an OG holy grail, I think, for almost everybody. But I have so many mascaras that I have been using and trying to use up. And I was obsessed for a minute with the Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. So I haven't really been giving this one a whole lot of love. So I decided to pull it out and use it for this month. And then I also decided to pull out my CoverGirl Flourish by Lash Blast mascara. I think I featured this in one of my other makeup stash videos. I don't know if it was last month or the month before, but I really like this mascara for my bottom lashes. I use it on my top lashes too, but especially for my bottom lashes, and even more so because the Too Faced one, the wand is so big that sometimes it's hard to really get in there on my bottom lashes because my bottom lashes are kind of short. So I like this one because the wand is a little bit more smaller and the bristles are a lot shorter, so I can really get in there and like separate my lower lashes. So these are the two mascaras that I pulled out. For lips, I have a couple of different lippies, and these are all nudes. There should be no surprise there. This is my everyday makeup stash, so on an everyday basis, I'm wearing My Lips But Better shades. I don't actually have any of these shades on my lips right now, but I did this little situation because I saw Ella Ree do, this is like one of her favorite lip combos. I don't know if she used these exact shades, but these are similar ones that I had in my collection. And now I'm like obsessed with this lip. So I always have a hard time sticking to my lip shades because I just have so many lip products. Lips and face, like foundation, concealer, those are my favorite things when it comes to makeup. So it's hard for me to stick to like my lip products because I just pull stuff. But I pulled these out and I'm trying my best to stick to them. But on my lips right now, in case you're wondering, I'm wearing Matte Cork lip liner, and then I'm wearing ColourPop Netta lip gloss, which Ella Ree actually made in collaboration with ColourPop. And this is the lip situation. Cute, right? But we don't have that in the stash, so moving on. So the first lip product that I have is by NARS, and I'm not even sure if they still sell these or not. But this is, what is this called? These are the NARS. It doesn't even say it on here. But if I remember correctly, these were like matte, not really liquid lipsticks, but more like, the only word that's coming to my head is like the same kind of texture as Kylie's Velvet liquid lipsticks. They don't dry down all the way completely matte, but they're still like a matte liquefied lipstick, if that makes sense. But I have mine in the shade Overheated. If they do still sell these, I will try to find it and link it for you guys down below, because I cannot remember for the life of me what this was called. But these are like super hydrating on the lips. This is the color right here. Is this not like, it almost matches exactly what I already have on my lips. Like, this is the story of my life. But I really do like these. Like I said, I got it a while back, so I will check to see if they do still sell these. If they do, I highly recommend picking one up because these are super comfortable to wear, and as you can see, the pigment is popping. Next up, I also pulled out 2 Ofra liquid lipsticks. I feel like I don't ever hear people talk about Ofra. Every time I say that, I want to say Oprah. Y'all don't even know how many times I have re-said this because I keep wanting to say Oprah. But Ofra, I feel like no one really talks about them as much. Like, I know they've done some collaborations with like Nikki Tutorials and stuff like that, but I feel like they used to be like the shit. And I never really hear anybody talking about them as much. Not to say that they're not still popping, because obviously I'm pulling them out, but I just don't hear it. Like, do y'all still use products from Ofra? Let me know. But I pulled out 2 liquid lipsticks. I pulled out the shades Mocha and Pasadena, which I have Mocha right here and Pasadena right here. Both nudes, but Pasadena is more of like a mauve pink, and then Mocha is more of like a brown toned mauve. So, I mean, all of these shades on my hand literally look almost exactly the same, but different formulas, you know, you never know how you're gonna feel, what you're gonna want to put on your lips. So I have a couple of different nudes to choose from. And then I have 2 more. The first one is the NYX Super Clicky Matte Lipstick, and this one is in the shade Conform. And I remember when this first came out too, like, this was like, a lot of people were talking about these, and then they just kind of got pushed under the rug. But that is what that shade looks like right there. Much darker for sure, a more like mauve plum shade. Nude probably if you are darker than me, but on me it would be, you know, kind of like a darker nude. But I do really like the formula of this, and it lasts pretty decent on the lips because it is a matte lipstick. And then lastly, I have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Gloss, and this one is in the shade Statement Nude. So this is what it looks like, and I feel like these are kind of like, they'll always be around. I feel like L'Oreal is good with creating products that are timeless. Like, they kind of create stuff and then it just is there forever. But that is that one right there. So as you can see, it's not like super intense gloss, but it does have a little bit of a sheen to it in comparison to the other shades, which dry down completely matte. And yeah, that is everything that I have in my everyday makeup stash for the month of March. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I don't think I forgot anything. I don't think. But everything that I mentioned will be listed and linked for you guys down below in the description. As always, if you're ever wondering about what I mentioned in a video, where I got it from, anything like that, I always have all of the products listed and linked for you guys down below in the description. But of course, if you have any questions, you can let me know or leave those down in the comments. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what products you guys have in your everyday makeup stashes. I know that this series has inspired some of you guys to start doing everyday makeup stash for yourself and shopping your own stashes, your own collections, and using up some of your products. So let me know down below what products you guys have pulled out if you are doing this little series with me. For the month of March, I would love to know what you guys are using. If you have not already and you are new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I mean, you made it to the end of the video, so you might as well support your girl. Subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. And until next time, I hope that you guys are having a great day or night wherever you are. And I'll see you guys very soon in my next one.